Hello, we're premiering our first SCAR 2 official playthrough of the Paradise Island tournament in Pro Division. Had some shots from several people in the clan. The first one we're going to show you are a power slice on hole 1. And I'm going to show you 3 shots on the power slice just to show you how we try to dial it in. This is the first shot I did. So I eyeball where I'm going to land. And when the QB 8, 9 and 10, you adjust approximately 21, 22 rings to the left. The reference spot here is that rough intersection. If you notice here, I put on a full right spin on my first try. And that was too much. You just clip the rough and roll out, still have a decent thorn from there. It's a mid thorn from there. But we're moving on and trying out with some less right spin. Here on my main account, I got a QB10 here. You can go APOC here, but I just wanted something a little more safe. And I really want to land on min distance thorn. Rough intersection, same wind. Here I had a little bit of right spin at first. Then I take it away. Just a tad of right spin there. And same wind. Full curl, full slice. Blast it down there. If you see where I land, I got plenty of space to move there, because my wind was very low. But I still landed in mid distance there. The first shot I was at max distance, I remember now. So here's Frank's shot. He wanted to go with the Titan, but he had very high wind, so he changed his mind. Very wise decision. 6.3 wind. And he has the same reference spot as I have, that rough intersection there, but a little bit higher wind. Same shot, full top, no side spin, full slice and curl. The trees there look dangerous, but we haven't hit it yet. We just hit it just before the rough and landed real far up. He's at min distance thorn here. So the thing I want you to do is, if you have 5.5 wind, you go 1 ring to the right of the rough intersection. 6.5 you go at the rough intersection. 7.5 or something like that, you go to the left of the rough intersection. Then you lead yourself to a min distance thorn, absolute min distance thorn at no elevation. You get the ball guy to the hole. You could land this on the fringe for a more secure bounce. And I really want you to put 1 backspin on. So this is no elevation. Frank played it at 10%, but it's just a 0.1 difference when you're in min distance. So difference when you're in min distance. So it's gonna go in either way, but put 1 backspin on to secure it, so you don't come in too hot. And boom, first boom, we like it. And now we're moving on to hole number 2. And here I want to show you 3 different shots. I made this with 6, 7 and 8 Goliath. It's a really risky but very rewarding rough bump. We want to go full top and full left. No left, no right. Full top. You want to aim just at the left side on the pin at the plus 3 yard mark. We want to adjust it plus 20%. And the thing here, it's really important to check if the ball is completely centered. No teeny tiny overpower. If you want to do something, underpower it. should still work, but don't overpower it. You'll be in trouble. We get this dead center, and boom, Goliath 6 works. The thing that's different with the Goliath 8 is this ball guide, so it can look scary. Here's Frank's shot. Trying to find that +3 iron mark. You see the ball guide line going way past the hole. That could be a problem, because I had that. But right here, it works fine. +20, ball centered. He had a teeny tiny right curl there. So we ended up a little bit more to the right than I did. But still in, so boom, y'all. So I want to show you here. This is a shootout, but it's quite similar wind. Full top, no side spin. Here I go for the +2 yard mark. Still ball guide line, left side on the pin, off the pin, on the pin. And still +20% at max distance. So same setup here. Only the difference is the +2 yard mark. The thing you want to notice is that when you find the +3 yard mark, you don't want to be at the top of the +3 yard mark, because there's the difference. You can move it a little bit up and down. You want to be at the bottom of the +3 yard mark. So find that. We're moving on to hole number 3 here. I'm going to show you 2 drive approaches. The first here is just 1 bounce and over. You can do this with the EM8, maybe with the EM7, and obviously APOC 4 Thor. We see how many rings you have to OP. You end up doing 25% OP from this. In this wind. The first bounce and the second bounce should go over. You can go a little bit further with this method. 391 yards, note that down. So here I am with my EM6. Don't want to go over here. So I push up to see how many rings I have to I'm into overpower for a secure bounce. You don't want to go too far up that rough line, because you can bounce in the rough there. There you see actually how I adjust for wind. It's a Clash Caddy, it's a calculator. If you notice very closely, you could see me and Frank's chat there as well. So hopefully we didn't say anything stupid. Just back and push back up 2.5 rings. That's how many rings I was into overpower. It's a nice double bounce shot. Note down the yardage. The second shot is a dial-in process. We want to land 1 green square from the pin due to the tailwind. And this slopes down left to right the screen. I really didn't get the spins in the way I wanted to here, and I didn't have time to change it. Adjusted correctly, +20%. The thing I did is to counter what I thought I was coming in a little bit to the right of the hole. I counter it with a baby curl. If you see, my ball is touching into underpower there. So that didn't help. The curl helped, the underpower didn't help, so probably a normal shot there. It could go in. It's a dial-in process. But here we are at hole number 4. You want to use the rocket with 625 backspin and 1 left spin. And pay attention to the yellow ring and the red ring. You want the red ring by the second rough line there. You want the ball guide line to be 1 green square to the left and short of the pin. And we want to adjust it at mid distance plus 10. You see here, you don't want to curl this, baby curl this to the left. Frank, just touch it to the right. You get that first sweet bounce, okay speed, and it was almost dead on. So notice where you sent that you have your ball guide centered or a baby right curl. Okay, so this is hole number 5, par 4. I didn't save my recording with Skog, my main account. So this is a tour hole, but it's quite same wind, so it works the same. You see, I try to wiggle the ball guide line just to find if there's any glitchy spots there. The top spin here should be from 375 to max 5. Full left, and we want to adjust this 15% and have half a ball curl. We want to get up there, but we don't want to roll too far. We want to get into thorn distance and be safe. Don't go into the rough. That's a safe shot. Note down the yardages. The second shot is all about finding the club distance. That's why I move up and back. There's max, so I go back and I find out this is 85% club. It's a little higher wind here than in the tourney, but it's the same angle, works the same way. 3 top, 3 right, ball guide line to the hole. Yellow ring by the rough line. You adjust it at club distance. No elevation. Nothing fancy, just hit it perfect. If you hit it perfect and have this right club distance, you're gonna get it in. Boom. Alright, y'all, we like this. We're moving on to hole number 6. I'm gonna show you 2 different drives. I'm playing the APOC 5 here. You could play this with the EM7, EM6, EM5, EM8. You could play this with a big topper. You get very far with the big topper, but it can be risky if you hit it great right. Want to make sure that we're not clipping the rough. That's the most important thing. And just get that far down. It's important to note down how many yards. It's really simple. I'm going to show you here, but Freddy's. You want to make sure it's great drive because he had a here is Freddy's drive with a full top, full right. Show you that it works with the EM5. Notice the red ring. He had the red ring by the rough, so it's safe. Played it plus 10. Played it plus 10. A tiny push up, which is a teeny tiny push up, but it's a 1 yard push up. It don't make the big difference. Normal shot. Hit it great right, but he had the red ring by the rough. You can see here that so it's going to be right. Fine. Anyway, still works as long as you make sure you have the red ring. We're moving on to the second shot here. It's okay. In 2 different approaches. Came shorter with the sniper. So here you see his shot, and the EM5 doesn't get that far. He's at absolute in max distance. Want to have 2 green squares from the pin. So the thing right here, and when you get this far, is that you see you are at max distance, way off of your club. Rough line here. You should play this with 3 backspin here. Just basically 1-to-1 than 3 backspin, unless or no elevation up or OP it. So Freddy played it 6.5 here. Want to play it 1-to-1 basically, which is no elevation, which how this shot is played usually
doesn't make a whole lot of difference.
Sweet bounce there, and a roll in.
He played it 2 green squares short of the pin.
Boom.
And went dead on the pin. Boom.
So, here we are at Frank's shot here. You see it push it up to max distance. He's at mid distance right now. And he wants to play with a 4 backspin. A red ring approximately by the rough line, so it's way further up. And there is a funnel there, that's why he's going back and forth to find that funnel. He ends up with similar approach. It's 2 green squares from the pin. And he adjusted it plus 15 at mid distance, which is almost the same amount of rings, but it's not at the same distance. So different wind adjustment works with different shots, and it's dead center as well. So that's why you should write down yardage and find the thing that works for you. And here we are at hole 7. Most important thing is pack the Grizzly, do not pack the Goliath. So you find absolute min distance there with the sniper if you don't have the Goliath. You want to put 1 top and a 5 left, full left. Notice the yellow ring by the rough line. The ball guide line should go just left on the pin. And you adjust it at min distance plus 10%, which here is 5.3 rings. And you don't have to, but I try to add a little bit of curl. I added too much here, just touching the arrows there to the right. Land just there on the rough there, and boom. We made this shot 3 times, so it works. Good luck. Here we are at hole number 8. This is a really tough hole. It's very elevated. The first shot is played with at plus 20%. We want to land in the middle there. Do not go to the right. That tree is going to be in your face. Then you have to slice it around it. And with the QB, I use the QB for the accuracy and the ball guide line. And with the QB9, you could go full top. With QB10, don't go full top because it has most top spin. And I push up 2 rings there. Just don't push up too far because you'll end up in the rough. Adjust it plus 20%. The thing here, you just want to get it in the middle. You want to get it from 345 to 360. The second shot is all about finding the club distance. So I did 85% club here. And it's a plus 40% adjustment. You want to go, I'd say, between 0 and 1, so I'll say 0.75 backspin. Want to have the ball guide line just left on the pin. You notice where the yellow ring is. Adjust it plus 40%. The thing I did wrong here, I did a slight push there to the left. It was just a poor wind adjustment. I hit it perfect. I did plus 40%. So coming in just left of the pin. But I believe it was that slight push to the left, which I don't know why I did. So we're moving on to hole number 9. We want to have full top here. Not if you have the EM9, but approximately 4 to 5 top spin. Full left, want to be just on the left side of that fairway. You have to push up if you're using the Katana and the EM5. Don't have to push up if you're using Kingmaker and a higher level APOC or extra mile. You want to put a tiny curl on that. You see, he did great, but it was still fine. I want to show you my shot first here, because I used the Kingmaker and the Sniper 9, and you get further down with Kingmaker and Sniper 9 or Sniper 10. You want to have this approximately 2 green squares from the pin due to the tailwind. And we want to aim it just at the pin. Here's a thing again with the different balls and how far you get. I adjust this plus 15% due to the tailwind. And you'll see here that I'll end up a little bit short and just left of the pin. If I had gone 10% of that, it would have gone at the pin or roll around the pin. So here's Freddy's shot. It's the same approach. It's 2 green squares from the pin. It's a different ball, and it's further down. I was further up. So from here, he plays it just like you play it in tour play, basically no elevation. He's coming in a little high here, but you see where I end up? Dead center. So if you end up dead center, it's gonna be a boom.